powerful teaching voice. I'm very intense, very competitive. This is my friend Fred. Fred is someone that we talk a lot, and we're both very interested in coaching, and we both have an idea that youth are people we need to be invested in, right? We have a lot of distractions in our life. And speaking of distractions, I'm going to distract you right now. So I'm going to take these 10 poker chips and I'm going to drop them down on the floor. And I want you to tell me what number you see, 1 through 10. Is 0 a number?
Yes.
It's a yes/no question, right?
Yes.
So who is confident that 0 is a number?
You said 1 through 10, not 0.
Yeah.
Are we counting in terms of this?
Okay, don't overthink this.
Too late.
Is it 1 through 10? And who was in the back there that made that comment? Speak about that comment.
You said 1 through 10 and then asked if 0 was a number.
Fair enough, right? He just proved it, didn't he? According to his theory. Who else can prove that 0 is a number with other information?
0's in 10.
0's in 10? Yeah.
Negative.
Okay, when I ask high school kids this question, they never say what you just said. They never come to, you said 10, so therefore 0 exists. They don't think that deeply. So that impresses me already that some of you are deep thinkers. Okay? Okay, here we go. So, if you're not standing in a place where you can see what's going on, you're going to be lost in the spaghetti sauce. Okay? So, I'm going to drop these chips down, and you're going to tell me what number you see, 1 through 10. If you figure this out, do not blurt it out to your neighbors. Just peacefully know that you have the answer. You can continue saying the numbers. You have a 10% chance of getting it right. Okay? I think everybody understands percentages. Yes? So, I'm going to drop the chips down. You tell me what number you see, and then we're just going to keep playing. Okay?
3.
4. 4. Oh, do not just blurt out answers. Do not share the technique or the strategy with your buddies. Okay? 2. 2. There's 2.
5.
0. Yep. 0. Okay, 0.
6. 1.
6. Yep. Hold it.
Oh, I see.
2.
5.
Yeah, 6.
I got it.
Okay, we're just going to keep rolling here.
0.
Yeah.
If you keep asking what is going on and you don't change anything that you're doing, you're just going to continue to be lost in the sauce, right?
3.
0.
2.
Zero.
10.
Do it again.
4. Yeah. 0. Yeah, it just changed. 4. Yeah, it changed again. 2. Yeah. 0. Why did it change? It is again. Go ahead.
We'll scoot over here just a little bit. You don't get it, Lord? No, I see you.
Got it.
10. There we go.
Okay, so why, who can answer the, I always want to know the why, right? I'm a why type person. Remember when you were a kindergartner and you were very exploratory and you always asked people, why? And then people got sick of that and encouraged you to stop doing that, and I'm going to encourage you to continue to do that for the rest of your life. If you want to get rid of a weed in your yard, you've got to get to the taproot, right? If you just cut the weed off, it's just going to grow back and it's going to be stronger than it ever was before, and you think you did everything right and got it to go away, when really you didn't. If we don't ask the why, we don't get to the root. If you don't get to the root, you're not going to find the source of the problem. Bruce made some really good points about team chemistry and conflict. I work as a consultant, so I go into schools and I have to tell them to stop sucking at what they suck at. Okay? And when you do that, people have deeply rooted reasons why they suck at what they suck at. And we have to ask the why. Why do you teach? Why do you believe that kids who are homeless cannot learn as good as kids who are not? What evidence do you have? What evidence supports your claims? Right? We have to find the evidence and the why. And you should ask yourself, why do I want to be a veterinarian? Why do I want to be a lawyer? Why do I want to be a probation officer? What is your why? If you can't answer that when you're in a career, you're not going to be moving yourself forward to a good place. Or in relationships with other people. Okay, what does this have to do with anything related to your life as a college student and volleyball? Who can explain that to me? I just tricked you, right? I laid these chips down and it had nothing to do with the chips. It was all about what I was doing with my hands. Who can give me a really, like, I want to be blown away by your answer. Very quiet.
There's a lot of different distractions in life, and when we're going through our different scenarios, if we let ourselves get distracted, we can't keep focused on our purpose and our why.
That's such a good answer.
Great job, Tyler.
If I had a Wisconsin Volleyball Club hat, I would give it to him, but he already has one. That was a great answer. Okay? I like to piggyback. I'm a piggybacker. Like, he just set the stage with a really good answer that impressed the crap out of me. Who can give me another one? Yeah.
If you're always focused on one thing and one thing only, you're never going to see the other opportunities that are around you as well.
Yeah, and what did Bruce said something really important about, you got to read people. You got to read body language. I'm a huge believer in body language reading gives me information to let me know about people's why, right? If they fold their hands, if they don't look up, they don't look at me when I'm talking to them. So I referee high-level sports. So I do semi-pro basketball. I've worked women's college basketball for 20 years. I have gotten really good at reading things. So I can see a block charge play before it even happens. And I've already processed that play in different layers, like a camera takes pictures, to the point where when I see the contact happen, I know if the defender was legal. We look for indicators, right? There's indicators for targeting penalties, there's indicators in football, there's indicators in volleyball for which player is responsible for being in the net. Did the person lift the ball? Did they hit it legally? You have to look at indicators, right? I gave you subtle indicators. What was one of the indicators that I gave you that it didn't have a damn thing to do with the chips? What did I do? I threw 4 chips out of the pile. That should have been a red light, green light moment for some of you, right? And I think some of you were, at that point, starting to figure it out. Some people moved to a different location. That happens in volleyball, right? If somebody is not returning a serve, you're just going to keep exposing them until they figure it out, right? That's what we do in sports. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that all the time, okay? I'll take one more really good piece of feedback about this activity. It's a perspective change, right? Mindset.
You didn't let us communicate about like the answer, so that we knew that you would be able to tell other people, but like it could be seen as like a communication thing, like if we were able to help our friends out, so like we can know how the other person's getting exposed, you can help them out, and you can have the answer faster.
Yeah, that's a really good answer, and
That's
that's a big clap. We're going to do another activity here shortly that's going to really tap into what you just said. So these are some great answers. I really appreciate. Like, I'm looking at this room right now, and nobody is distracted with a cell phone. I just love that. Like, we don't always need to have that, right? There's times when your cell phone is valuable. I get tons of emails. We all do, right? Our phones are automatic distractions. I turn the notifications off on my phone. I don't even hear it ring anymore. It took me about 2 weeks to just cleanse myself of that, and people are like, "You didn't pick your phone up." I'm like, text me. I'll return the call later. Like, I've gotten so used to it at 50 years old. I don't need to be accessible to everybody immediately at their whim. I don't need to hear the dinging and the vibrating from my phone to the point where I'm a servant to my phone. I want to be a servant to people. That's so important, right? Serve others, not just your technology. You gotta have some balance. So I appreciate that I'm looking around this room and not seeing any cell phone. Okay? So I'm gonna get everybody up and just stay right here. And Fred's gonna help me. We're gonna hand out some discs. And if some other coaches could help hand these out too, everybody gets one. Go ahead. Everybody help. We're gonna pass these out so everybody gets one. We have enough where everybody will get at least one. And then I'll explain what we're gonna do next. It'll take us a minute to get these passed out.
Mike has nothing to do with it. Are we actually?
Still need some. Anybody? Who's not having this? Okay, listen up. This is going to be a perfect time for me to teach my attention getting signal. It's super easy. I'm just going to go clap once. Okay, that was super lame. Clap once, clap twice. Okay, there should not be a third time. You guys are rock stars. Okay? So this is an activity that I absolutely love, especially with big groups, because it gets people talking, right? This is exactly the tap group that I'm trying to get to about leave your cell phones be for a while. Right? This doesn't involve any texting. We're not texting questions. We're actually asking them. So you're going to go up to another human being. So Claire, come on under. So if Claire was the person that I wanted to talk to first, I'm going to look her in the eye. I'm going to ask her my question. What is your favorite book? Claire apparently does not read. Yes, you probably have. Are you in school? Okay, so she read there, okay? So I'm intrigued by her answer. Now she's going to ask me her question. It affects your confidence in getting things done, and it affects your body language. So after our great conversation, we'll trade, and then we'll go talk to somebody else. Okay? So everybody in this room should be talking to somebody. On your mark, get set, go. We have a new norm, a ground rule, okay, and this is good perspective. You can only talk to people that are not from your organization. finish up your last conversation, so talk to one more person. Okay, you can just put your cards when you're done. Just approach the stage and just set them right on the stage. And then just kind of stand on the middle again, and I'll bring you the next activity. Okay, we're going to hand you a card. Do not look at the number. Just hold on to the card exactly how we hand it to you. Do not look at the number. The number is on the other side. Do not look at it. This will take a little time for us to set it up. Do not look at the number. Okay, do not talk. I'm taking away the most powerful thing you have, and that's your voice. Okay? Do not do anything until I say go. You're going to take your card, and you're going to put it up on your head like this. You all look equally ridiculous. Okay, on your mark, get set, go. Do not talk. Do not look at anybody. Do not say anything. Do not help anyone. Okay? So, if you are possessing a spade, you're going to end up in that corner where I'm pointing. Okay? Do not talk. Do not do anything. Okay? If you possess, I got to cut through here. If you possess a club, you're going to be in that corner over there. Fred is, which one's diamonds? Over there. Okay, diamonds are over here, and hearts are going to be in this corner. You cannot talk at all in this activity. This is a race. You got to get to the right corner, and you need to get in numerical order. Ace is low. On your mark, get set, go. Do not talk.
Can you repeat which order?
Spades, clubs, diamonds, hearts. Look for the signs in the corner. Do not talk. You guys are doing great. Do not talk. No talking. Once you get to the corner, you have to get in numerical order quickly. This is a very competitive activity now, which should get some of you excited. Good job. Ace is low. You got to be somewhat organized. We're ace all the way through king.
You guys are in a nice
with me. Oh yeah, I heard a bunch of girls over here. Looks like diamonds think they're done. Diamonds were done first. Man, we still got one more. He's a wanderer. Inorganized. Spades are done. Hearts are good. Brad, did you get a check on that one? Lungs are done. Okay, you guys can stop looking ridiculous and come back over here so we can talk. You can just set your cards up on stage. We'll organize it later. Circle that ring around me so we can talk about this. You just toss them up here on the stage. Okay, that was really good. I didn't have to get to 3. Okay, we talk about leadership all the time, and I think leadership is one of the most confusing conversations to have with young people and older people. It's just a confusing conversation for people in general because there's warped senses of what leadership really means. Okay, in high school, when I was a captain in football, leadership was heads or tails. Walk out to the coin toss for football, referee would say, "Oh, you're a leader on your team." And I would be like, "I am? I just called the coin toss. It's like a 50-50. That is not leadership. All of you were leaders in this activity. Some of you were servant leaders in this activity. Who can explain to me what servant leadership is for you? What is the essence of servant leadership? Who has? You have a good answer?
It's like when you listen to somebody else and don't fight back. Because in that activity you can't communicate, and like people are kind of
Right, you just have to trust, right? Servant leaders trust other people are just going to lead them to the right place, right? There's just a lot of trust. That's really good. What else?
You set aside your own needs and wants for the better purpose and success of overall.
I love that as a definition. That was really well said. Okay, the word set aside, right? Servant leaders set aside their own desires, their own gifts that they might get as a leader. Like, you don't need your name in the paper. You just do things just to do them. I spent 20 years in the Air Force, and the best commanders that I worked for would serve food in the dining hall just as much as they would sit in their really nice big office doing paperwork. They were all over the base. Their face was everywhere, and they didn't ask for anything in return. They just wanted to be amongst the people. Servant leaders don't pick and choose, they just do. Right? That's what we're looking for in our world, is we need servant leaders. And in this activity, I took away something really powerful from you so that you can influence people with other powerful things, like your nonverbals. Right? In volleyball, there's a lot of nonverbal things about, like, a setter might nonverbally tell a hitter, this is where I'm putting the ball. Right? And they don't have to use their words all the time. There's subtle body language. Anything else about this activity that strikes you as like an aha moment? I love hearing people's aha moments, like when the light bulb goes on. Right? That never happens for any of us. Anybody have anything they want to share? Yeah.
if it was a competition between the 4 groups, then I probably shouldn't have helped out the other groups so much at the beginning.
So we set the framework right away that this was very competitive, which lends itself to, hey, I don't want to help that other team, but I'm a servant leader, so I'm just going to do that. Right? Some of you can't sort and separate, like the competition from the fact that we want servant leadership, even if it's helping other people. And that's why we wanted you guys to commingle away from your teams, because it's comfortable being around people that you're used to, and we want to get you comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, and we're going to do that more here in a little bit. Anybody else? That was really good. Other aha moments? Yeah.
It was hard for me to help other people when I couldn't help myself. Like at the beginning, I didn't know where I was, I didn't know where I was going until somebody helped me, and then I helped other people.
Yes, that's huge, right? That's so true. And how many times I've seen this over and over again in the disability world. So I work as a special ed consultant for the state, and I have a huge passion for people with disabilities, especially inclusion. And one of the things that we don't do well is we love people with disabilities through the lens of apathy instead of loving them through the lens of empathy. Who can explain that to me, what I just said? Yeah.
You feel bad for them instead of treating them like an equal.
Yes, that is so powerful. I could tell right away because I was scanning the room to see who was going to be invested in my story, and I could tell right away. Tell me what you're going to be going into as a...
Special needs.
Okay. that was very obvious to me, because when I was looking around the room, because I'm a huge body language person, I could see that you were smiling, and I'm like, oh, she gets it. So we can't just gravitate towards people because, oh, that's a person with Down syndrome, so we should make them homecoming king just so that we can get our names in the paper and a picture with them. We make that person a homecoming king or queen because they deserve it, right? Because we're inclusive. Schools sometimes separate people based on like, oh, disability people go over here, and people that are not disability go over here. We have to be better than that, right? We have to include everybody. So that's why I really like that we're commingling everybody, so we're just going to keep doing that for the rest of the day. Okay? One more aha moment, and then we'll move on. Anybody have anything else? Okay. I think we beat that dead horse. So I'm going to introduce you to a pretty cool activity. It's one of my favorite. Okay, these are mouse traps. So before you start using your mind, clap one. Back over. Okay, that was only one clap. That was pretty good. Okay, you can get just a little bit closer so you can see what's going on here, because all of you are going to negotiate this mouse trap. Okay? You don't need to so much see, because sometimes seeing isn't believing, right? So every mouse trap is a weapon. Okay, it's a weapon that will kill a mouse through the lens of trapping it. Okay, I've seen some mice that have gotten away from traps. They'll drag themselves down a driveway, and eventually it'll be taps, right? They're just going to be done. So mouse traps are dangerous. I'm going to teach you how to use this mouse trap so it's not so dangerous. Okay, you're gonna arm and disarm this mouse trap to prove to yourself mentally, psychologically. This is a very psychological activity. Since sports is mental, a lot of it, we're going to have to address that through the lens of the mouse trap. You're going to fight your own fight with this thing. If you're afraid of this mouse trap, that's awesome. I'm going to teach you how to not be afraid of it. Okay, so you're going to arm the mouse trap, and there's 2 sides to every mouse trap. There's the bad side and the good side. The good side is when you have Victor, the little silhouette of the mouse. You can see there's a V on the mouse trap. If you have that V facing you, you will not get hurt by this trap. I'm going to prove it right now. It's Savannah's hand. Okay. So Savannah's hand represents the floor. So if I'm going to set this mouse trap, and I have Victor facing me. I'm going to pull back on this bar, and if I screw up, which I'm going to, okay, nobody gets hurt, right? I don't get hurt because all the bad stuff in the mousetrap is going on away from me. It's not happening near me. It's happening away from me. Okay, it's physics. How many of you understand Sir Isaac Newton? Okay? Over here, Michigan Tech is full of a lot of science and engineering and really smart people. Okay, when you get complimented, never drag yourself under the bus, right? Okay, so once I get this strap armed, okay, by pulling this bar down and putting this other bar over the top, that's gonna cause one of Newton's laws to come to life, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if I touch this bar and set this trap off, like resistance, and I let go, it's just gonna disarm, right? Nothing bad happens to me. It makes a bunch of noise, and then it's done. It's over. Okay? That's phase one of the mousetrap. Okay, there's multiple phases to mousetrap. I've had this activity analyzed by Division I sports psychologists when I work with athletes, and it's the most powerful game changer activity for athletes to overcome fears of trusting themselves. Because if you cannot trust yourself, guess what? You're never going to be able to trust your teammates. Okay, so I've done this with Division I athletes, and there's been players who have been afraid of this mousetrap to the point where they don't even want to touch it because they've never had any experience with a mousetrap. You live out, how many of you live in the country? Okay, so maybe you've seen mousetraps, you've used them, you know how to arm one. How many of you have never touched one? And you don't really want to. Okay? So there should be enough mousetraps in that bucket. Let me explain one more time how if you don't understand this thing and you haven't seen, get a little closer, but here you can be the so to arm it, you're basically gonna pull back this latch and hold it down, and bring the bar over. And then it all just transitions. Okay? And then disarm. All of you are going to grab a mousetrap, and then arm it, and then disarm it. Okay, tell me your name again. Max. Mad Max. And Lauren. Okay, so Max and Lauren are from totally different places in terms of universities. Michigan Tech is a place that I've gone to numerous times to officiate. The Big Hill. Yeah. Okay, I've actually almost rolled down that hill in a snowstorm. I rep on the South Basketball, so I go to Michigan Tech in Northern. So this is my favorite part of mousetraps is that it's layered. Okay, so there's like 30 different mousetrap activities, and they're very addicting. So when I do this with kids, they love to hate mousetraps and they hate to love mousetraps. Okay, they don't like it at first, and then once they get the euphoria of doing it, it almost becomes like playing sports, right? It's very euphoric. Okay, and if you have an intense personality, euphoria is something that you crave. How many of you would agree with that? Okay, you want an adrenaline rush, right? And this is dangerous because this is what gets people in trouble with like gambling and alcohol and drug abuse. We have to tame down our addictions and we have to channel them through productive means. Okay, so Max, you're gonna put this blindfold on. Oh yeah. No, you're good. Okay, and Lauren is gonna guide Max. Listen, you guys are gonna be a really good audience. Okay? Don't be apologizing to him for nothing. Okay, you're gonna have complete confidence in your abilities, right? Okay, so Lauren is gonna guide Max to the mousetrap. I'm gonna arm it, and I'm gonna just set it somewhere so that Max is gonna have to go on a little journey. Okay, don't do anything yet. Hold on. So Max cannot have any physical contact with Lauren and vice versa. It has to be all just Lauren using her words. Nonverbals will not work well, obviously. So I'm going to actually kind of make this really difficult for Max. You know, I think Max. No, okay, then are you an engineering major? No. So I'm putting some additional distractions on the ground for Max. Okay, so Lauren, you have to guide him to the safe side of the mousetrap, get him down on the ground, and have him disarm it in a manner where you have complete control. Okay? Yeah, he has to disarm this one over here. Okay? And we're going to be a good audience, which means you guys are not going to talk about anything involved in giving Max directions. Lauren is driving the bus. Okay, and if she puts it in the dish, oh well. Okay? That's up. Okay. Lauren, are you ready to drive the bus? Okay, so we're all gonna be, remember, grab your popcorn and your drink and enjoy the show. Alright. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Look out, Max. Oh.
Back now, y'all.
This is a PG-13.
Right here. Well, if you messed up his finger, push down.
Okay, minus one little word usage thing. Lauren did it really well. So what feedback? Okay, we can all move on to that place now. That was kind of funny. What kind of feedback would you offer to Lauren about her leadership regarding taking Max from point A to point B? Yeah.
I thought you did absolutely fantastic. Like, probably, like, I could, fantastic. Just like, in the beginning, don't apologize. You gotta get yourself. Because you did such a great job.
Okay, awesome.
I think she did a good job of verbalizing like how far she wanted to move, not just move to the left, move to the right, but take one step, or move your finger like 2 inches, 1 inch forward. I thought that was really well done.
She was very authoritative with like trying to get him where she wanted to strategically play. She had a plan, right? She definitely had a plan. Okay, one more.
I have one.
Yeah.
She kept saying you're fine, like.
Did she?
Yeah, like
Really?
like you're not gonna snap your finger off. So like that, saying like you're fine over and over again, made it feel like I was okay to keep moving forward.
Nothing like fine about how you look though.
She was adaptive, like she told like the audience to move, like she wasn't set by the boundaries that you originally set, because you were adapting to the environment, and then she created additional adaptations to it so that we could get to this endpoint.
She wasn't gonna let me mess with her. Like, I eventually stopped messing with Lauren because I realized that it wasn't doing any good. And she was just tuning me out, which is awesome. That speaks volumes to her ability to just channel out distractions. Like, we have to deal with this as officials. Like everyone, this is the thing about officiating that makes it really hard and makes it really challenging for us to find people to officiate. It's so much fun. But the problem is coaches control everything that they do day to day, their practice plan. They control huddle. They control their youth programs. They control the behavior of their players. They control the weight room. But on Friday nights at 7 p.m. when that ball gets kicked, they cannot control the officials. And it drives them crazy. And as an official, I am not a bartender. Okay? I do not provide you with an extra olive in your Manhattan. I do not provide you an extra cherry in your muddled brandy old fashioned. That's not my job. I'm not a referee. Oh, I'm sorry, coach. Do you need an extra olive with your kitty cocktail? I don't do that. And you shouldn't either. Right? Like, you don't always need to add in that extra fluff, like giggling and laughter. Like, I love that Lauren never was laughing. She was in complete, authentic control. She was being Lauren. Okay, don't be anybody but you. When athletes struggle with this, what do they use to cover up the fact that they're struggling? You never want to let your peers know you're struggling. What do? Laugh, giggle, they fall apart, I can't do it. That's the last thing you want to say to a person who's blindfolded, who needs you to get them from point A to point B, is I can't do it. You're just falling to pieces. You just can't do that. It won't work, not in sports, right? Okay, if we had time, we would blindfold all of you and make you go through the Max Lauren scenario, but I think seeing the two of them do it was just fine, so let's give them a How much time do I have?
It's 2 p.m.
30 minutes? Okay, perfect. It's just enough time for us to do this last activity. Right, can you help me with this one? Okay, everybody stand up. We're gonna try to number everybody off as quickly as we can. Is there 6 piles, Fred?
I got 4. You got 2?
I got 2, so we have 6. We're gonna number you guys off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As soon as we number you off, the first 6 people, you're gonna take complete leadership of making sure other 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6 know exactly where you are so they can just go follow you. And then the first people I number off are gonna take a pile of cards. So you're a 1, you take that, you're 2. Okay, Fred, here's 3, you're 3.
We're just gonna get them in the groups, right? And then
Yeah, I'm gonna give all the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6 pile of cards. So there's 3, you're 4, you're 5, and you're 6. Okay, so hand the cards to, here's the 3, he gets a pile. Okay, you guys can step aside. You hold up your finger so everybody knows who you are, and then I'm just gonna keep rattling off numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just snap the thing in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Okay, here's how this is gonna work. Okay, very quickly. I'm gonna stand in this chair. So every group has a deck of cards that has 20 to 21 cards right in there. You have to take that entire deck of cards as a group, and you have to make a story. Okay, and then we're going to actually have you come up on the stage, and you're going to share your stories. I'm going to give you literally 8 minutes to make your story, using all 21 cards. Every story has to have a narrator. So the narrator is going to come up to that microphone and tell the story. And we're going to be judging the story. All the adults in this room are going to judge the story. Listen, you also have to have a card flipper. The card flipper does not have to talk. They just flip the cards so the narrator can tell the story. There has to be some flow to the story, like mojo. It can't be like, it needs to be like exciting. The narrator should really do a very, very good job. Like Lauren did a good job leading. Max, that's the way the narration should be. What do you think everybody else is doing? Acting out the story. Okay, you got 8 minutes. Make your story. There's prizes for first and second place. You got 8 minutes. That was really good. So like layer 3 of Mousetrap, and then layer 4 is Headlands, where I turn it back. Where does it mean? Is this like a tournament again? It's a really good activity. I had a foresight problem. Whenever I tried foresight college, I even have rat traps. They make a lot of noise. Oh, that's so loud? Yeah, I'll use it. For sure, they're just listening to it's an aerator? Okay. So if I go over by a few minutes, mine.
Yeah, we have some of the stuff like season planning and here, this is so much fun. That's it. Like the year, the last time we did it, I think we started.
You're right, yeah, it wasn't that.
I was before COVID. Yeah, so that's year. That was a strong group.
Do it. What's stopping you? You know the hill that I'm talking about, right? That's a nasty hill. You have to go up to get to the field house. Afterwards. So that's like the whole you got all these things that you gotta get them on. Hey, you got about 3 minutes, then we're gonna get going.
You're gonna be in the shopper right now. I don't care if you care about that.
Oh, you're trying to put it so that you can get them.
Oh yeah.
Have it on your phone and get the words. Can you be Jerry?
You see what they're doing? She's talking it into her phone so she gets the words.
Hey, you guys have 5 minutes. Give you some extra time so you can get your stories rehearsed.
was heading west, and he so the Tasmanian devil was the real hurricane. He decided to
Judges, come up, bring a chair. The judges area is right here. Well, actually, we'll have the judges in the back. You guys got a chair, you got your little thumbs. Okay. The judges all have a thumb. They're gonna go thumbs up, thumbs sideways, or maybe they give you a thumbs down. Okay. So we're gonna evaluate narration. Okay, we have to evaluate the narrator because they're the ones telling the story. We'll evaluate the essence of the card flipper. Like there's some really good card flipping technique. Okay, and there's some that's really lousy. and then we'll evaluate the authenticity of the acting. Okay? So judges, we will ask for your feedback and maybe a few words. Okay? Not too much, but just a little. Okay? You guys have, can you come up with a name for your story real quick? Okay, the first story is Harry Potter Saves the Day. Okay? Okay, Harry Potter Saves the Day. Ready? Action.
Once upon a time, Harry Potter and his 3 friends were on a sunny island, and they thought about going to Target. And they thought, oh crap, we just heard a bomb.
Boom.
We have to hide from the fire. And the animals were all running around. And the Tasmanian devil was trying to kill the zookeeper. And they thought, we have to stop this from happening. So they created a potion and a spell and worked together to save the day and the zookeeper.
Okay, overall vote from the judges. Okay, we got a bunch of thumbs up and we got a sideways thumb. Sideways thumb? Okay. Judges, any feedback for the skit?
The only reason I gave a sideways thumb is there's still 5 more skits to go. I don't know what's going to happen.
That's what happens when you go first. Okay.
The Tasmanian devil really stole the show.
Yum. Okay, who's going second? You're up. You guys are up. You got names for your story? Nice work. Okay, quiet on the set. Little Timothy, part 3, the end of an era. Action.
One day it was very rainy, but it cleared up and a rainbow formed. Little Timmy wondered, what should I do with this beautiful day? He was at a crossroads, but then had an idea. He said, I'm gonna climb a mountain, but there were lots of spiders, and it took a long time. But a bird flew by and said,
never give up.
So he trusted it. He made a calculated decision to stop and reach his target. At the top of the mountain, he saw a beautiful island with lots of beach tents. Lots. And he said, I want to hop a plane and fly down there. But on the plane, there was a really loud fight. The pilot was trying to break it up, but he just couldn't. And the pilot wasn't there to drive the plane, so they all died. And no one was happy.
Okay, judges. Okay, a lot of sideways thumbs, but the good news is there was no down thumb. Okay, any feedback from our panel of judges, the experts?
I think I just really wanted to see everyone involved throughout the whole thing versus kind of standing in the corner and slowly.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing Timothy hop across the stage.
It's an artistic decision.
Okay, so feedback is a gift, right? Okay, who's going next? All right, up on the stage.
Jerry's journey.
What is it?
Jerry's journey.
Jerry's journey, okay. Okay, quiet on the set. Jerry's journey. Ready? Action.
Once upon a time, there was a guy that was 6 feet tall.
He's 5'11".
His name's Jerry. And he decided to beat some guys up. And so, of course, he had to go to court for that, right? And they sentenced him to death for beating up these guys. It's very brutal. So, before his head got chopped off, he had an idea. He had an idea in his brain to read a book on a plane. and fly around the mountains and around the world. But then, all of a sudden, he heard the plane start on fire. So he had to make a decision. Does he jump out of the plane? And yes, he does. He jumps out of the plane. But the catch is he jumps into a hurricane. So when he jumps, he had to trust that he was going to make it to ground safely and just never give up. The end.
I have a question. How does a guy go from getting his head chopped off to jumping out of an airplane?
Because he had an idea to read a book on the plane.
He wasn't supposed to chop my head off.
Oh, but you got a bunch of, you got some thumbs up.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thumbs down. Okay, you know what? We always have to be prepared for courageous conversation. So let's go to our judge that put the thumbs down. Hey, that's a good question, right? I asked the same question. So
He's a really strong neck.
he must.
See, now, I liked the lack of logic. It made it funny.
You turned a negative into a positive. That's mindset, right? Growth mindset. Yeah. A lot of good stuff here. Okay. All right, next group. You got a name for your... Okay, all right, on the set. The Three Stooges. The Three Stooges in love with a good decision. Ready? Action.
It's a beautiful day with a rainbow, 2 birds chirping, 2 flowers blooming, a scarecrow, and 3 stooges who love each other with targets on their heads. When suddenly, time time stops when one of them parachutes into a storm.
Boom, lightning!
They think to hide in the toilet with cobwebs because they thought it was a good idea and it was the right decision. That's it.
Down the toilet. Okay. Again, some different variations in feedback. That's the beauty of having a judges panel. So, what's up with the downward?
They're on a payroll. I was just looking for a little bit more excitement, I guess. There's nothing that jumped out at me, nothing sudden that happened. It was like, what's the scarecrow?
The scarecrow not enough? Yeah.
The scarecrow that never showed up? Okay, who has some feedback counter to the thumbs down?
I'm back on the logic wasn't there, so I like that part of it. But
So the less logic, the more that you're going to get his vote,
you didn't
right?
get a full thumbs up for me because I thought everybody needed to be more involved.
Okay, fair enough. All right, next group. What's the name of this skit?
The beast, the construction worker, and the toilet baby.
Okay, I don't even need to say the name of the story. You heard it.
Yeah, just guys.
The beast,
the home wrecker construction worker. The beast, the home wrecker construction worker, and the toilet baby.
Toilet baby. Okay. Okay, I'm looking forward to this. Okay, ready, action.
We set the scene on Earth. The Tasmanian devil from the first group survived, and now he is on the peak of Mount Everest with his love, the scarecrow. They are very happy together, so they give each other flowers. How beautiful. But he has to stop. He has to stop and listen and trust the home wrecker construction worker in order to search for his mailbox to get his mail. And all of a sudden, a flame ignites between the construction worker and the Tasmanian devil, and a love is formed. So hot, it burns the scarecrow to death. He is now dead and gone. Then they make a baby. But this baby is really smart and knows how to read, so they question if they want to keep it or not. So they decide to flush it down the toilet, like a goldfish. But the baby is not going down the toilet without a fight, so they have to never give up and flush that baby and push it down the toilet. Eventually they get the baby down the toilet. But they decide they want the baby back, so they must climb into the sewer to retrieve the baby. And then it turns out the baby has overcome adversity and become the queen of the sewers. The end.
Okay. Are you going to vote?
Not everyone was involved.
Huh? You're abstaining?
I couldn't see the cards.
There's an abstaining vote. Okay, it garnished a couple of thumbs up. It was a little obtuse, but it was good narration. Feedback?
Good comedic timing.
Good comedic timing?
Jokes well. Dark humor. Yeah.
Dark humor.
I didn't like that I couldn't see the cards. I want to see those cards.
Okay, there's another group that has to go yet, so hopefully you take that feedback.
Wait, are we starting title? Do we go to
Devilish here.
Everybody. No, I am. No, not you. Not you. No, you are the hurricane. I am.
Okay, the devil that shook the earth.
Dun, 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 dun. Thank you. In a big world, on a small island, the voluminous hurricane was racing across the ocean. It was heading northwest and was so fat everybody could hear it. The Tasmanian devil was the real hurricane, though. He decided to bomb his main target, construction man Dan, who was taking the biggest shit of his life on the hoover. Of course, the case went to the judge, and the jury had a very tough decision to make. And whether or not to condemn the Tasmanian devils for his horrific crimes. As time progressed, he began to think and question, what were they going to do? As a massive dog pile of evidence was plopped onto the table that supported the injustice acts of Mr. Tazzy. But in the end, it was the king's decision, which turned out to be a sad negative, and he decided to chop off his head. Long live the king. As the web of the story concluded, the sleeping spider slowly opened his crusty eyes and said, "That was a weird dream, man."
At least no babies got put in a sewer. Okay, there was some excitement from you. There was a lot of logic in that story, though.
The narration was amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that it started with music, that over the top.
Even though she said the word shit.
Yeah.
You said it too.
Good. What do you got? You got something?
No, I was just agreeing with that. Yeah.
All right, so judges, do you want to convene about which story you would rate as number 1 and number 2, or?
One with all thumbs up.
Are you sure you want us to rate which one is number 2?
Yeah, number 2. Drum roll, please. Okay, judges, you have to break your huddle now. Okay, in second place, judges.
The first one.
The first skit. Harry Cooper. Harry Potter. Okay, in first place.
Well, despite our best judgment and thoughts, we're gonna go with the shit.
No shit. Okay, you guys were a blast. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for being such a great audience, and I can tell you guys had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun too. So, thanks for the judges for playing along and putting your thumbs up, sideways, and sometimes it had to be down. You can't always have the thumb be up. So, anybody, I'll take. Hey, somebody give me a hand. I'll take maybe just a couple of items of feedback, what you liked about this. If anybody wants to share something that you enjoyed about what we did, maybe it was an activity or anything. Yeah.
I just liked that the whole time we were up and moving around and doing a lot of different things. It was always engaging everybody. It wasn't like we were just listening to you the whole time. I really appreciate that.
So do I suck at being, you don't want to listen to me?
Well, I love listening to you. But it helps if I can also do something.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yes.
I also like getting to know everybody. Like on my team, I feel like if I saw them at a volleyball tournament, I'd be like, hey, you're the Tasmanian devil, you know?
Hey, you're that guy that said shit. Okay, appreciate it. Anybody else? Oh,
Yeah.
You like forced people to be awkward. Like you didn't give us like an opportunity, like, oh, you can sit out of this. You don't want to do it. You kind of made sure that everybody was like, get it, kind of thing, get them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, and you guys were great. Everybody was involved. I could tell you guys were all engaged, so I appreciate that. One more.
You allowed us to like analyze our own experiences. You didn't just tell us what was going on. You let us think about it, and then we would bring it back to you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for having me, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I was looking forward to just watching this for weeks, so thanks.
And you got to do more than just watch. You got to be involved. So
I know.
I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun for me. This is going to be hard to go home. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We got this on video too. We got this shit on video. All right, great job, you guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Oh, I'll take the cards. You can bring those up to me. I need those back.
It's like two tables back. Save some space.
No one talks to us except for each other. Oh, it's still recording.
Yeah,
it's still recording.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. Hold up, don't move yet. For this next one, we have Mr. Chandler North here, but we just want to know, do you guys want to sit in your tables, or do you guys want to have the option to sit on the ground as well here in the middle? Tables? All right, then we got to move the tables back so we don't have the tables in color, so you guys can get going on that.